Outrocast. Is your day going fine so far?
No, this is great. How are you?
Fine. Am I getting you from New York?
No, you're actually getting me from Sweden this time.
Got it. Because I know you have Swedish roots, but you're a New York based actress for the most part. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I basically just popped over to LA like a month ago, so I'm gonna be there for most of the year, but now I'm here. So, you
Now
know,
you're here. Wow. Well, Honeydew is the newest movie from you to be released. When was it actually filmed?
ooh, that's a great question. I think I want to say 2000 and was it 18 or 19? 19? 2021. No, it's got to be 18. 18, 2018 in the fall. So that is a while ago.
Yeah. Any
The
recollection?
pandemic happened.
Yeah, just this little thing called the pandemic that's still going
Yeah.
on.
What is that?
How long were you on set for? Do you remember?
It was under a month. It really wasn't that long. We were very much, flowing through all of that. We shot sometimes up to 10 pages a day, which
Wow.
is it's a lot. But it never really felt stressful until like the very few last days where we were all like, ooh, are we gonna get through all of this? But it was such a great experience. So didn't feel long at all.
Had you worked with anybody from the cast and crew before being cast in the film?
No. Oh, wait, actually, I did work with one of the producers, Alan. We had worked on a short film. That was probably the first film I did when moving to the US, maybe 5 or 6 years earlier. But other than that, I hadn't worked with anyone, and I want to work with all of them again. We had such a wonderful, director, Deborah Milburn, and the cast, everyone, but specifically working with Barbara and Sawyer, such a treat. But we became kind of a family because you live and you work very intense
Right.
and close. So didn't want to leave at the end of it, but all good things come to an end.
When you got the script, well, actually, let me ask this. Did you get the full script when you agreed to the role? Because sometimes they don't want the actors to know what's coming next to actually get a rise out of them for horror kind of roles.
Yeah, that is interesting. No, we actually did get the entire script. I think I got the script maybe even before the callback potentially, but yeah, as soon as I read the script, I just loved it. I thought it's so unique, and it was different than any horror script I've had ever read. And I really liked this strange, the kind of drawn out slow pace and the building suspension, and I'm European, so for me, I like when it's slow, and it doesn't have to be that much action all the time. I like that it's kind of built on the strange characters and the meetings, and everything just goes worse and worse, and you're like, where is this going to go? So that, and then I felt like it had a really smart comment on food industry and America's food chain in a way. So that really piqued my interest. And then I loved Riley as a character. I thought I really liked that she was sort of the one wearing the pants in the relationship and taking control, and being, a very ambitious and driven, and a Virgo, I'd like to say, because I'm a Virgo myself, and I could sort of connect with her on a lot of points.
Sure.
Not that extreme, but and her relationship, her just not very great, but fun and humorous bickering relationship with Sam was something that I just was laughing out loud when I read the scenes to audition for. So
Yeah,
I was
that's
so excited
true.
part of this.
It's true. We do see the relationship dynamic beyond the horror. It's not just straight up horror or thriller kind of action happening. When you're on set for something like this, I'm assuming you can turn it off. Like you don't have to be scared and in horror mode the whole time. Like the second they say cut, there could be some laughs.
Oh man, yeah, a lot of laughing. Like, we had so much fun shooting it, and all of the situations where Sam and Riley comes into the house and meets Barbara's character Karen. There's so much you know, tension and awkward moments hanging in the air when, you know, especially Riley is like, what is happening? You know, everything is so strange, and she's trying to kind of take control of the situation and get them out of there, but Sam is just eating and oblivious to everything, and Karen is just weird and crazy. So there were, you know, when Dev called cut, we would just, you know, burst out laughing a lot of times, because of, you know, because of these long scenes, but also that I think all of the actors really did a great job preparing for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Dev had a really strong vision of what he wanted. So when we were allowed to just play, and these scenes would take a long time, and there would be these awkward moments, you know, when he called cut, it would just be, everything would come out. We were like, what? That's so, you know, it's so funny. And it was just a great cast and a great crew. So we had so much fun, both while shooting and also, you know, while not shooting, around in between takes. So it was a great experience.
I'm glad to hear that. And Honeydew's not the only credit that you have that's, you know, new, that's forthcoming. When I look at your IMDb page, there's a lot that's forthcoming. I see Becoming Kelly is on there.
Yeah.
Is that the latest project, or are you one of those kinds of people where the IMDb is incomplete?
Yeah, I think it is not the latest. I want to do a little shout out though, because Become Kelly is one of my closest friends who wrote a comedy pilot, and she's, you know, she's great. So you should watch that. It's really, really quirky and funny. But it's not the latest project. I think after that, I also worked on the beta test, who's coming out. It's out, and it was in Berlinale by Jim Cummings, also a brilliant filmmaker. I had the honor to work with him on that, with my partner. Actually, we play a Swedish couple, which was really fun. We had never worked together, so that's soon going to be out. With IFC Midnight. So check that out. And then I just got to Sweden a few days ago, and I'm working on a Agatha Christie show out here. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Not out yet, but I'm working on it now. It's really fun. It's a Agatha Christie character called Hjersen, who is Swedish and Finnish, that I didn't even know existed before this show came about. So I'm very grateful. A lot of good things coming. So.
And then you yourself write, you don't just act and appear on camera. Is the long-term goal to be more of a writer than an on-screen performer?
I think ultimately I would love to do both. I really enjoy writing. I started doing it maybe 4 or 5 years ago. First project I did was a short comedy also that is called Hedda Needs Help, which I wrote with a friend who's called Lisa Bear. And it's just very quirky again, and strange about a poet who wants to get into the industry and instead becomes a dog sitter. And you should watch that too. It's on Shorts TV. So that was really fun. I've kept writing. This year during pandemic, I actually finished my first feature script. It's not by far done yet, but yeah, it's definitely something that I want to keep doing. I have a few things almost done. I've worked on a film called Evergreen, which is almost finished. So that's soon to come out. And I just think it's a great way to stay active and also building skills on both sides, because I find as a writer that my acting helps me to write. And I find as an actor that writing and building up scripts and building up scenes and characters gets me deeper into the characters that I'm working on. And so I think it's great. I think it's great to be proactive and find new ways to create work. And then I can put all my favorite actors in it, and I can create the ideas or the stories that I don't think is out there yet, stories that I need to be told, that I think need to be told. So yeah, I would encourage everyone that have an idea to write, because it's scary, but once you start, you're like, oh, this is fun. I got to do more. But I definitely am an actor also. And I think you could do both. I don't want to drop either of them.
So many people these days carry the writer/actor/director/producer tag. So no reason anyone can. And when you're not working, do you delve more into music, media, entertainment, etc., or do you actually turn off and get away from all that?
You know, I think I haven't been reading as much as I would like to. I definitely have music on a lot. I couldn't tell you a specific artist because I will switch all the time. You know, sometimes it's like Italian night, and then I just listen to a bunch of old Italian songs and cook pasta, and or you know, or it's like deep house and have a dance party by myself or with my partner. So you know, it changes, but I think definitely there's a lot of music, and also I watch a lot of film and a lot of TV shows, you know, just to see what's out there and get inspired by what people do. And there's a lot of great stuff. I love Criterion Channel. There's a lot of good movies there. I've been on a little bit of a Eddie Murphy run lately. I watched all the old Beverly Hills Cop because I think I'm like partly in love with Eddie Murphy. I think he's probably one of the most brilliant comedy actors ever. I think he's fantastic.
So. Yeah, he did recently an interview with Marc Maron that was like an hour and a half long. And you got to hear him just telling stories, doing impressions of everybody. And I had no idea that Eddie Murphy could do Rodney Dangerfield. He could do everybody's voice, no matter their ethnicity, age, background, etc.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think, I just think he's so funny. As soon as he starts laughing, also, I start laughing. You know, you just can't. You're like, yeah. I'm not even gonna mimic or like, you know, try to sound like him because it's not gonna work.
Well, I was gonna say with Sweden, I think that Sweden is the most underrated country in the world when it comes to music, because a lot of people go to the stereotype and they say Ace of Base and ABBA, and you go, yeah, fine, great. But I think that with punk and metal, all that's come out of Sweden, I don't know if that's your scene, but say the Helicopters, the Hives, and all that. It's wonderful that that's mainstream music, that somebody can listen to R&B and metal.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much music. I mean, I think I realized that more when I left Sweden, actually, and everyone kept telling me like, wow, Sweden has so much great music. And I was like, oh, right, that person is Swedish too, and that one. Like, I personally love, I love Robin. I love the Cardigans when they came out.
Yes.
I mean, Roxette, they're like old school too, but and I'm not a big death metal person, but however, I can see that, you know, there's a lot of great music here. There's a great house kind of band called Off the Mets that is pretty new, but they're solid. Also great music. So, you know, there's a lot of music coming out of here.
Cardigans is one of my favorite bands, and the guitarist who wrote all the songs in the band was a death metal guy, and that just
really? Okay, you got me there.
When he wasn't doing all the pop stuff, it was going death metal. So I think that speaks to diversity and all that. But back to you, 2 quick questions, and then you're free. The first one is, do you have a new TV show recommendation that you could pass along to someone who needs a new show to start?
I mean, if you haven't watched it, I would watch Lupin. I think it's fantastic. Such a brilliant show, and I really hope that this next season comes out very quickly. What else did I recently see? I really like this movie. It's not from this year, but I think it came out 2019, but it came out this 2020. It's called Baby Teeth. Also, not at all a horror film. It's just a beautiful film about a girl who has cancer. So very different. But those are 2 things that I would definitely watch. If you were more into like mystery horror thing, Behind Her Eyes, which is on Netflix, I want to say. British show, really creepy.
Cool.
It really kind of made me like, I couldn't sleep, really had a lot of nightmares. So if you're into that, you should check it out. That's just a few ideas.
Thank you. Very helpful. Those are things that were not on my radar. And closing question, this can include as much self-promotion as you want. Any last words for the kids?
For the kids out there?
Sure.
I think for the kids, I think, what should I say? I think anyone that wants to write or act or whatever they want to do, just do it. Because honestly, like, there's so much time to just hesitate, and we don't have time for that. So, you know, if someone, you know, if you're passionate about something, just go out and try it and fail. I've learned that late. Just like fail, don't be scared of failing because we're all going to do one times. Better be sooner than later, I think. So yeah, that's a little word of advice.
Wonderful. We'll keep up the greatness and looking forward to everything that's coming from you soon, whether it's horror, comedy, you wrote it, etc. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Outrocast.